Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Charity First Handicapping Challenge. And we are ridiculously excited here, Chappie, because of the good news that came through the wires, and it's all over Twitter and everywhere. It looks like the fans will be let back into Santa Anita starting on April 2nd, just in time for the Santa Anita Derby, Chappie.
Yeah, I can't wait. We can't wait to have the fans back. It's going to add so much energy here. And the Santa Anita Derby starting to shape up to be a giant day. So I'm ready to go, man. We got two good contestants today as well. So we're starting off the week on a high note.
We certainly are. Two of the best, two of my favorites. I love both of these guys. They're fantastic. And, of course, you'll talk about the champ in a moment, Chappie, who always been near and dear to my heart. But today he's going down like a dog because I got my man Ruben Mendez, who I've known for years. He's just wonderful. I'm sure he's looking forward to the fans coming back. Nobody works better with people, with fans directly than Ruben. He is just stellar. Every time I see him when we had live audiences, he was, interacting with people, giving insights, helping people. He's just a true dream to have as part of the great Santa Anita team. And today, he's going to win some money for charity and move on to the next round. Ruben, welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thank you, George, very much. Can't wait to be back there. More than anything, I miss seeing the horses. I think all of us at home the last year just miss being at the track and seeing the horses. So can't wait for it.
Gabby.
The champ is here. The champ is here. My man, Jose Arias, 2014 NHC champion. Also played in a contest, George, where he turned, I think it was $40 into $15,000 here at Santa Anita. So he's won many things. That's a few of his accomplishments. He's also a USC fan. I'm not a big fan of that. And a Dodger fan. Take him or leave him. But other than that, we love the man. He's one of the best handicappers around. Jose, what's going on, buddy?
Chappie, thank you for that wonderful recommendation, information that you shared. Yes, I love Santa Anita. I love racing. I'm very happy to be here.
Let's go, Georgie. Let's get it on. What's the
We
rules?
are happy to have both of them on. And Ruben, he almost tasted victory. He was so close in the last contest. He was like right there, one win away from the finals. Oh, so exciting. And anyway, all right. Just to give you a quick recap of the rules here for you guys watching, each of our handicappers are going to get $300 to play with mythical money. They're going to be playing mythical money. They'll have three bets, a win, an exact, and a daily double. So they bet $100 to win on a horse through the course of the day. $100 in exactas. It could be straight or a $50 box or a $50 part wheel. And the same for the daily double. It could be an ice cold $100 daily double or a $50 part wheel daily double. If any of our contestants turns their $300 into more than $1,000, then our great charity Karma, we talked about how wonderful the horses are and how we love them, and we love this organization Karma that takes care of retired racehorses here in California. They'll get an extra $500. So let's start swinging away, and let's swing away with my man Ruben. He's got a win bet, $100 win bet. Where are you going and why?
So the horse is favored on the morning line that I like a lot. I don't think he's going to take that much money. I think we might actually see his price drift up. I think Ghoul's going to bet quite a lot. I think the Peter Miller horse is going to also get bet, Commander on the outside. So I think the horse I'm going to go with is the 4, Thanks, Mr. Edson. He had an interesting, awkward trip last time, kind of off slow, rushed up a little bit. They went really quick the first couple quarters, and then he caught by Gregorian Chant. Everybody knows he's in top form. So my win bet's going to be the morning line favorite that I think is going to drift up a little bit in price, the 4 horse in race 4.
All right, number 4, Thanks, Mr. Edson. And this is a very versatile gelding. He's one of the grass. He's one of the dirt. He is really a talented sprinter. Jeff Bondy excels with sprinters, and this one here, again, you mentioned it, Gregorian Chant came back and won again after winning that race. He certainly looked impressive, and this is a small field but very competitive, and I agree you might get a 2-to-1 or more, and you got Maldonado on, and like in Hollywood, people get typecast as certain character actors and so forth. He's typecast as a speed demon jockey. He's great with front runners. And I think that thanks, Mr. Edson will be out there in front, and hopefully we'll be in front all the way to the wire so we can get some money there for charity. Chappie?
Yeah, I hate to agree with my opponent there, but if you look at the pace of the race, unless Chase and Money sends from the rail, there really is no other speed whatsoever in that race. But anyways, maybe Chase and Money will go because I'm rooting for Jose. I love you, Ruben, but he's my teammate. So Jose, 100 to win and why? Where are we going, buddy?
Let's go to race number 1, Chappie. Okay, the first thing I noticed in this race, I look at bear pars. I want to see how the races fare, what's the average, and one horse kind of stands out in the race, and it's number 5. When you look at his, he ran a 70, did really well, had a lot of trouble, significant trouble when it left the gate. So as the horse had trouble, left the gate, still ran on, came in second. I think today with a better break, he's going to win, and I think a 74, 75, he's going to run. So that should win this race. Now, you do have 2 horses, the 3, the 4, the 7. There's because they're cutting, like the 3 horses cutting back from a mile and 1/8 to a mile. But I still think that given the trouble, given what I expect this horse to progress from his last race, this horse, I think, is the best out of all the horses in that race. So the 100 win bet will go on number 5, even though it's going to be a very low price. I expect 3 to 5.
All right, Georgie, we're going race 1. We're taking a little chalk. We're eating a little chalk in the first race, but it doesn't matter. We're putting some money on the board. So we're going to Ruben's going to have to come chase us down. 100 to win on the 5. Doesn't matter the price.
It's funny because D'Amato and Pratt, it says here they're winning at 29%. It feels to me they're winning at 129%, right? I mean, they're winning everything. I just, especially on the grass, D'Amato has become the sultan of the sod, and Pratt, of course, could be the best turf rider in the country. And so a great combination there. Certainly a single in many people's early pick 5s. I know me and Chappie love betting the pick 5. It's our favorite bet. And I think I'll be putting in a ticket single in Cargo and hoping that I hope he wins as well, because even if he wins, we're still going to beat him. Okay, Ruben, because our horse is going to be 2 to 1. All right. Ruben, you got an exact $100 to play with. What race are we looking at, my man?
For the exacta, I got to agree with Jose on here. I want to be cheering for his win bet in race 1, because in my exacta, I'm going to key the 5 horse on top. Then I'll play a couple horses underneath. I like the 3 and the 7 underneath. I like the 7 probably a little bit more. I'm a big fan of Lakerville on the turf. I think that horse is going to drift up in price a little bit. I think that exacta might pay maybe 8, 9. The 7 gets 3's a lot horse, makes a lot of sense underneath. But yeah, I'll be cheering for the 5 to win there and need the 3 or the 7 in second. That's my exacta play in race 1.
All right, 5 over the 3-7, Gallina Prieta. Well, that's a Cuban thing. 3-7 in the Cuban lottery. 3-7 is rooster, some kind of rooster. But anyway, what am I talking about? Big Coup, Leonard Powell. I think that one's gonna run really well, no question. And every time I see Lakerville in Unusual Heat, it reminds me of one of my favorite personalities at the track, Barry Abrams, who I used to love, especially when I was a jockey agent. And Unusual Heat, one of the fantastic California sires here, especially on the grass. Lakerville was scintillating when that one won. I remember it was just awesome. So good memories there of my man Barry Abrams, and hopefully, let him win with Cargo. That's all right. Let him get that win bet. We bring down the exact in that race. Woo! Go ahead, Chappie.
Yeah, I wonder why Ruben had a smirk on his face when we picked Cargo to win. He was laying in the weeds there, ready for his exacta. I see what you're doing here. What are we doing with our exacta, Jose?
Okay, let's go to race number 3, Chappie. Okay, let's first talk about, there's 2 horses here I like. So what I'll be doing is doing an exacta box with those 2 horses. One of them is Simmer Down. If you look at Simmer Down, ran a decent race, decent figures, especially 2 races back. I really like that performance. 140, went up to the lead, kind of ran off a little bit. You know what, that horse, and he did the same in the next race. So I'm hoping with a rider like Maldonado, who does very well on long distance horses like that near the lead, I think he could coax them to either come in first or second. So I like him in the exacta. The other one I'm going to use is the 2-horse Sky Navigator. Sky Navigator is also, I think he's moving to a level that he was very productive. I really liked his first race going to 5.5. I thought it was an even race for a horse that I think will like the longer distance, the 8 furlongs. He's going from turf, which I don't think he's a turf horse. So putting him back on dirt is going to make the difference. So he's also been recently gelded. Dean Peterson is a great trainer. So I'm expecting this horse to improve. So that's why I like the exacta 2-7 box.
All right, 2-7 box in there, and George and I will agree with you. Dean Pedersen, one of our favorites, kind of an under the radar, terrific trainer. And before we get to the next two, starting with you, Jose, then Ruben. Jose, I know you like to use the sheets as George does. What are some of the other factors you use when you're handicapping? I mean, you're one of the best there are. So.
I try to find an advantage anywhere. If it's a late closing number or an early pace figure, like for example, you talked earlier, there might be the lone speed, that one horse. So I'm always looking for an advantage over the race to make it easier on the horse to hopefully get to the wire first. So in this case, I thought that the 2-horse had trouble in race 3. I think he's a better horse than that. I think there's a reason why Dean Peterson gelded the horse. So I'm expecting that effort. So getting 7-2, maybe even 4-1 in that race, it's a pretty open race. So I'm expecting to get all of that. So and then having the 7, kind of relax a little bit up near the lead. That's another advantage. So I'm always looking at an advantage of the horse. Yeah, but I look at buyer numbers too, like I did in the first race, because I like those numbers. I do like some of the other numbers that you mentioned. But I'm trying to find an advantage, and sometimes it's at a big price. When I won the NHC, I got a lot of longer price horses that came in that were as competitive as the favorites, in my opinion. So you know what? Those were obvious picks for me. So that's kind of what I try to do: find the advantage anywhere. Either it's late closing, early closing, trouble, whatever it is.
Ruben, what are some of the tools you like to use when you're handicapping? Everybody has a different way of going about it. I don't use the sheets whatsoever, and I probably should add them into my arsenal. What about you?
Well, I want to start with Bayer speed figures. I know it's a touchy subject because everybody says they don't use them. I most certainly do, but in a unique way. You always want to start off the race seeing who ran the last highest speed figure from a Bayer standpoint, and that's who's going to take money. Almost never are you going to see a scenario where a horse ran the highest speed figure by 4, 5, even 8 points, and that horse doesn't take a lot of money and get bet. The public's naturally attracted to that. You add a high speed figure plus a high percentage trainer, it's almost a guaranteed favorite or second, third choice kind of thing. So when I'm navigating the race card, I'm looking for an advantage, kind of like what Jose said, and I'm looking for a race where I can play against horses that have the highest speed figure with a horse that maybe ran extremely well in its final quarter or in its opening quarter. Speed figure is competitive, but not as high. It doesn't look as flashy. The second thing is workout reports are very important. The workout reports you need to pay attention to. And I think the most useful information they give is, number one, they give you indications of when a horse's form cycle is tailing off. So I like to use the workout reports in a way where it's not necessarily that it points me to a horse I love, but it definitely helps me avoid a horse I want to play against at a shorter price. And then the other part of that workout reports aspect is, particularly on turf, you want to play a horse that is not getting great workout reports when they're training on the dirt. You're always going to get a better price. People go crazy for the flashy workouts, and it's like as simple as a turf horse working out on the dirt. It truly is just practice. It's yep. Allen Iverson practice in the truest sense. So I'm always attracted to those C+, B- type workouts from turf horses on the main track.
Yeah, apples and oranges there. I agree with that. Okay, people go way overboard. Some turf horses work horribly on the dirt. It means nothing. So I agree with that. Yeah.
Yes.
Georgie?
Yeah, excellent points there. And it's funny, Jose, you picked Simmer Down. And the last time Simmer Down ran, we singled that in our pick 5. And we're really disappointed because the horse, just went ridiculously fast early. We were like, what is going on here? So now it gets Maldonado. He's excellent with front runners, seems to know how to rate their speed. So I like Simmer Down, and then Sky Navigator comes out of that Goldini race. Chappie, Goldini last race, that was brutal, right?
Yeah. Don't remind me. Although I think we do this every week. Don't remind me about something we had a bad beat.
Yeah. We always remember our bad beats much more than remember our victories. Don't you agree, guys?
No question. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get a victory with a daily double. Ruben, where are you going?
So let's turn to race 5 for my double. Even before we heard of the scratch, a big scratch here of the 5-horse Just Distorted, I was looking to play against him there. No knocks on that horse. I was looking to play against him at a short price. There's a couple of first-time starters that I truly love in here. For my double, I'm going to start it off using the 2-horse Sharapova and the 8-horse Stella Noir. Sharapova, to me, looked like the better of the 2 Urton horses. I had printed out my past performances a few days ago before the morning line came out. And when I saw 8-1 on there, I figured maybe that price would come down a little bit, see maybe 6-1, 5-1. Urton's been training very well recently. Now with the scratch of the 5, I could see that horse about 7-2, 3-1 range. I think that horse is going to take money. The other horse I like quite a bit is the DeSormo horse on the outside. Horse has been training well. That's exactly the kind of horse that I like. 6.5 furlongs, I think he'll be fit and ready. The other part is I like on there, when you see Keith DeSormo with a horse like that, he was actually part breeder on there. And then we have a common overlap on owner and breeder. So I like that quite a bit. I think those connections are having that horse fit and ready. He's going to fire first time out. The second part of my double will be in race 6, the logical horse, the 2-horse Disco Fever. That horse has been on the lead. Watching that horse run, I don't know if that horse is a need the lead type. I think that horse is just simply so athletically gifted and so much further ahead from a physical talent standpoint. The horse has been on the lead. I don't think the horse has to be on the lead. Probably will be, but if needed to rate, she can. And she just looks like a solid bet in race 6, either on or near the pace, going a mile on turf. So my double is the 2 and the 8, race 5 to the 2 in race 6.
All right, 2-8 with the 2. We're going to be, if Sharapova scores an 8, we're going to be celebrating with some Stella and then having a little Disco Fever dance of celebration when we win it all. Chappie?
I don't know if Sharapova can run, but I heard she's got a hell of a backhand. Jose, what about your double? Where are we going and why?
Let's go to race 7 to start up the double. So we have a first condition allowance for state breds in the race, right? It's a short field, compact field, 6 horses. Here, I just think the 2 horses that are, in my opinion, stronger contenders are the 3, Coalinga Road. If you noticed last time, only lost by 1 to Tiz Hot and Dusty. And Tiz Hot and Dusty is a decent horse. It's a Calbred horse. Was going to run recently, but got scratched and has been very competitive in this level. Was only 1 length back. Had a little trouble at the start. So I'm expecting a good effort from this horse. Ran good on dirt. It's going a mile on the dirt, and I think this might be the day this horse could win. The second horse is Clayton Delaney. Now, this horse has been running on turf. The last 4 races on turf. It makes sense, too, from a speed standpoint. It's getting 80 buyers of 83, 84. It's competitive for this field. It's the Bear Parts at 85. I just think this is one of those 2 horses that are going to win this race. So that's why I want to start off my double with the 3 and the 4. Okay. On race 8, let's close it out with number 7, Standy No. Number 7, it ran a 71 last time. It's gelded for the first time. D'Amato and Pfeiffer, they're winning at a good clip. It's a good. I like the. I don't mind the post too much. It's only the 7 post. The horse has some speed. I'm thinking with the Lasix and the gelding showed much improvement. Right, it was a big improvement when they added the Lasix on this horse. And I just think a repeat, maybe a slightly better improvement of that race, he could win this race. So let's go with 3 or 4 in race 7 to the Phil D'Amato number 7 in the race 8.
All right, Georgie, we got quite a few eggs in the Phil D'Amato basket, which that's not such a bad thing right now. He seems to be winning everything. When the 7 horse goes wire to wire in the last, I will give Jose a standing O. We will take it home, Georgie.
I get a feeling that last daily double is going to be key for the day. It's going to be if he hits it, he wins. If he doesn't, he loses. It's going to be pretty exciting. We got action from our from the great insight from our handicappers in just about every race except the
I lost
second,
my audio.
I think. All right, so second race is we're going to go to our tiebreaker, and Ruben, if you can hear me, who do you want in the tiebreaker? Can you hear me, Ruben?
He still lost his audio, so go ahead and give his out.
I don't know what the tiebreaker
he didn't
is.
give it to you.
He didn't give a tiebreaker. Life is good coming up, Jose, in our big Santa Anita Derby. Is he the Kentucky Derby winner? Are we looking at the Kentucky Derby winner, Jose?
I think we're looking at the favorite in the Kentucky Derby, yes. He ran amazing, much improved effort that last race. I think that it's going to be tough. You know, Baffert has another one there, and he ran an amazing race. I think that I still haven't seen all the horses, so I think he'll be the favorite, though. I think that is the Kentucky Derby favorite going right now. There's some other races I still want to see before I tell you for sure that I think that's the horse going to win. But
there are some pretty good 3-year-olds. Second race, Ruben, is the tiebreaker race. You get first pick. We got the rock, paper, scissors taken care of before the show. Otherwise, the show would run another 16 minutes or so. So go ahead, Ruben. Who do you like for the tiebreaker in race number 2?
For my tiebreaker, nothing crazy here. I'll take Fobosi, the 5-horse on the outside. He ran in that tough Marquis Water race back a couple weeks ago. He was on the pace, essentially got tired. The jockey wrapped him up, protected him. He comes back here. He could run well on dirt. He's 6 of 7 in the money on dirt. I think he's going to get a good trip from the outside. If the 2-horse goes, he can sit right off of him. If not, he could go to the lead. I just think he has too much. He's too, what's the word? He's too game of a racehorse to not run well here. He came back. He's training well. I think the last race he just simply throw out. He got tired and the jockey wrapped him up. And, he lost. He was essentially eased. The comment line says ease. So to me, that's never a problem betting those horses back, especially when they come back with a race where it makes sense for them. Okay, they claimed them a little bit back, still in for a higher tag. To me, I feel confident about the 5 Fobosi in there as my tiebreaker.
George, one of our favorites, Chappie.
George, people always say, like, who's one of your favorite horses? And people say, oh, Secretariat or whatever. No, George and I, it's Fobosi, even though he's an 8-year-old. First time he ever ran down the hill had trouble. We bet him second time out going a mile, and he won wire to wire at 20-something to 1. And we singled him.
That was on one of the Triple Crown cards, wasn't it? Was it on or Preakness?
I have no idea, but I just know I lied.
We had a big group that we were in charge of that day in the it wasn't the chandelier, it was.
You're right, it was a big day. That was it.
Yeah, it was a huge group, and we told everybody that Fobosi, me and Chappie looked like superstars, man. We were walking around, baby, Fobosi. Anyway, go ahead, Chappie.
Go ahead, Jose. Who's your tiebreaker and why in the second?
Okay, in race number 2, Chappie, it's number 2, Conquest Cobra. If you look at 2 races, 3 races, even 4 races back, I thought those were pretty impressive races with much better horses. They ran against Babili Cyrus, Bold Endeavor. Bold Endeavor, what is he, like a $30,000 claimer? It's been competitive, only losing to 5 lengths by him. I also like Babili Cyrus. That's a pretty good horse, too. So for me, it's the 2-horse, and I think it's gonna be the favorite just because the horses he ran against have been really good. So I think the 2 should win this race.
All right, 2 stretching back out to a mile, which seems to be his game, or mile and 16th, 2-turn race for him.
All right, that's it. Thank you both for being on the show so much, man. You guys are wonderful. Hopefully we'll get some winners for our fans watching. Thank you both for being on the show.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Good luck.